Welcome, welcome, my artist family. This is Teresa from the corporate office, and we are here today to have a great Artist Connect call as we do every Wednesday night at the same time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for English and 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Spanish. Always remember, you have two options to connect. The first is by calling in to 712-432-0900 using PIN 847-610#, or by logging into www.artistlife.com. Under Artist Connect, you will be able to watch live from the comfort of your own home. With that being said, my artist family, please help me welcome to the call my boss, my mentor, my friend, the VP of Sales for Ardyss International, Mr. Clement Boyd.
Hello? Yes, Boyd here.
Mr. Boyd, Juanita, are you guys okay, or are we having technical difficulties?
No, we're on the line, the cluster. We're waiting on Vegas. Yes.
We're ready.
Okay. So, go ahead and start whenever you're ready. You talking to me? No, I'm talking to Teresa, sorry.
Alrighty, first, our artist family, we're gonna have a quick testimony from one of our distributors from Anguilla, Mrs. Kimba Southwell. Please welcome her to the call. Ms. Southwell, please press #6 to unmute yourself. I'm sorry, *6. Are you there?
Yes, Teresa, can you hear me? Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm here. Good evening to everyone in Ardyss International. It is a pleasure to be on this call this evening. I truly accept the honor of being on the call and to thank the DI Studio family and to thank so many other people, including Platinum President Anastasia and Robert Lewis, for introducing my husband and I to this wonderful company, to the other Caribbean countries, to leaders in those countries, and the mountain and Anguilla and Bahamas, and wherever we are in Turks and Caicos. It's just wonderful to be a part of the Caribbean team in Ardyss International. Teresa?
Yes.
Hello?
I'm here.
Teresa, you hear me?
I'm here.
Okay. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. This evening, to be on this call is truly an honor, as I said before. And I just want to thank everyone who has made this journey for me and my family such a wonderful opportunity. And I'm supposed to talk about personal development, but I believe if it wasn't for Ardyss International, I would not have been given the opportunity to understand what personal development is all about. Personal development for me, it is an action. It is actually putting words into an action. And there's many motivational speakers out there, and one of them is Jim Rohn, and he always says that you must study, practice, and then teach. So I've learned that if I study and develop myself, I have to as well practice it, and then I can teach it to others. So being a part of Ardyss International, when you attend weekly meetings, when you go to the Ardyss events, when you do conference calls like this Connect conference, Ardyss Connect that I'm on right now, all of this is helping you to develop yourself, and it allows you to build strong relationships with people from all walks of life, learn how to solve issues, and you look at things from a different light and at a bigger picture, and you don't look at it the same way. You look through many different lenses. You can solve any issue that you're faced with. So I'm here to the honor of being a part of Ardyss International and being able to put the qualities that we have been taught in training into practice and then teach it so it can be duplicated and passed on to others.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. Kimba. We so appreciate you.
Thank you.
You are one of our greatest leaders over in Anguilla. And if it wasn't for you and your husband, Mr. Southwell, I don't know if Anguilla would even know about Ardyss. So we are so thankful for you guys, and we love you guys. And we just want to say, we just want to encourage you guys to please keep up the good work. And if there's anything that I can do, you know, to help, I'm always here.
Thank you very much, Teresa. It's been, like I said, a pleasure. When we say an appointment with Ardyss changes your life, and it's really a true statement, an appointment with Ardyss, it does change your life.
Thank you so very much. And with that being said, we will go ahead and move on, and I will now be turning the call over to the VP of Sales, Mr. Clement Boyd.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, first I want to say welcome to Ardyss Connect. We are happy to see that Ardyss family is plugging into our weekly Wednesday call via video or phone. This also, Mrs. Bob, we really thank you for sharing your testimony on personal development. When I first got involved in this industry, personal development was what kept me in this business. It changed my life. I'm also a big fan of Jim Rohn. So I want to get out of the way of great because we have a special guest on the call tonight. Many of you, or probably all of you, know who she is. She really needs no introduction. She has achieved the esteemed rank of platinum president in our great company. And she's going to be giving you some serious nuggets from one of my favorite books. And without any further ado, Ms. Juanita, Ms. Platinum President Juanita Kraft, are you there with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I got my pen and ready. The floor is yours.
So, okay, awesome, Clem, and thank you for inviting me to share on the call. I'm really very happy to be doing this segment because my team and I have been reading Think and Grow Rich over the last actually 4 months now, and we realized that as we read the book, we started to transform and the way that we think about things. And so let me tell you just a little history behind it, because I've been in this network marketing industry for many, many years. And maybe, some of you guys might not believe it, but, it's been at least 30 years since I first heard about network marketing. And like Clem, I got in it and I didn't make a whole lot of money, but one thing that happened when I got into the industry, we got a mindset change. I started thinking a lot differently. I almost became an outcast because none of my friends were thinking the way that I was, and I felt different, and I really was different because of the personal development and because of the speakers and the people that I was listening to started changing the way that I thought and the things that I said. And one of the first books that I was told to read upon getting involved in the industry was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, I knew that I was supposed to read it every time, like they said, what the name of the book you're supposed to read? First one on the list was always Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And for some reason, I thought I had read the book. I really did. I really thought that I had. But about 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, I got it. I got the book through PDF, and I'm going to print it out. I think I'll reread that book because I can't remember much of what I read, and so I'm going to read it again. This time I'm going to take notes. So that's exactly what I did. And as I started reading the intro of the book, I was like, I don't remember any of this, not a single word of it. And but as I read, I got more and more and more excited. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to share this with my team. So this is what I'm getting ready to do now. I just want to sort of share my notes that I acquired just from reading the book. And I hope that in sharing that you guys can get a little bit of excitement that I got, okay? So The Secret was given by Andrew Carnegie to Napoleon Hill, okay? And what it is a magic formula for wealth. And if he wanted to be placed within reach of people who do not have the time to investigate how men make money. And see, Carnegie coached many young men, and many young uneducated men, developed in them rare leadership. And everyone who followed him made rare fortunes, such as Charles Schwab. I'm sure you've heard of him. Now, what struck me as very unique was that the book was written after 20 years of research. Man, can you imagine working on something for 20 years? He worked on this book for 20 years, and he analyzed hundreds of well-known men, many who used Carnegie's secret. Now, he says that the secret is mentioned no fewer than 100 times throughout the book. But this is what that means. It is not directly named, for it seems to work more successfully when it is merely uncovered and left in sight for those who are ready and searching for it. They pick it up. If you are ready to put it to use, you will recognize the secret at least once in every chapter. And if you have ever been discouraged, if you have had difficulties to surmount, which took the very soul out of you, if you have tried and failed, if you were ever handicapped by illness or physical affliction, the use of the Carnegie formula may prove to be the oasis in the desert of lost hope for which you have been searching. Those who acquire it and use it find themselves literally swept on to success with but little effort, and they never again submit to failure. The secret cannot be had without a price, but cannot be had at any price by those who are not intentionally searching for it. It should convince you that riches are not beyond your reach. Chapter 1. This is the introduction. Talks about a guy named Edwin C. Barnes who thought himself into a partnership with Thomas Edison. He did not know Thomas Edison, but he had a burning desire to become a business associate. He did not have money for fare to even get to Edison. He traveled by freight train. The look on his face said he was determined to get what he came after. He worked with Edison at a minimum, worked at a nominal wage, and he was determined to remain ready until he got that which he was seeking. He got his chance by selling Edison's dictating machine. And then he said, opportunity often comes disguised in the form of misfortune. And then he formed a contract to distribute that dictating machine. Barnes started with nothing, but he knew what he wanted, and he had the determination to stand by that desire until he realized it. There was another example of a man that's the uncle of Ardyss. He went west to find gold. He found gold ore and went home to borrow money from family to buy machinery to mine. The gold, he mined the gold dried up and he quit. He sold the equipment to a junk man who did some research and found the fault line. The gold was only 3 feet away. The junk man made millions. And guys, he learned from that mistake because he learned that desire can be transmuted into gold. So he turned and took that and made millions by selling insurance. And he said to himself, I stopped 3 feet from gold, but I would never stop because men say no when I ask them to buy insurance. More than 500 of the most successful men in this country have ever known said their success came just one step beyond the point at which defeat had overtaken them. Okay? And then it goes on to talk about a 50-cent lesson in persistence. And this is another lesson he learned. He says, no doesn't necessarily mean no. There was an uncle of his that had a farm, and he was baling hay at some point. And while he was there with his uncle, a small black child, to be specific, came into the farm, and she said, my money said, send her 50 cents. He says, I'll not do it. Now run on home. And she said, yes, sir, but did not move. And he said, I told her to go home. Now go on, I'll take a switch to you. And the little girl said, yes, sir, but did not move. And then he approached her, like took a step towards her, and like in anger, and she stepped forward and yelled, my baby's gotta have that 50 cents. And then he reached into his pocket and gave her the 50 cents. And he says he learned a lesson from the small child, the art of converting defeat into stepping. So one sound idea is all that one needs to achieve success. Believe this suggestion. When riches begin to come, they come so quickly in such great abundance that one wonders where they have been hiding during all those lean years. And one of the things, the bad lesson about the small child was that she was not going anywhere until she got what she wanted. And that's the same type of attitude we have to have if we want to achieve success. Okay? As soon as you master the principles of this philosophy, and it's 13 steps, and begin to follow the instructions for applying those principles, your financial status will begin to improve, and everything you touch will begin to transmute itself into an asset for your benefit. One of the main weaknesses of mankind is the average man's familiarity with the word impossible. He knows all of the rules which will not work. He knows all the things that cannot be done. Success comes to those who become success conscious. Failure comes to those who indifferently allow themselves to become failure conscious. The object of this book is to help all who seek it to learn the art of changing their minds from failure consciousness to success consciousness. A second weakness is measuring everyone by their own impressions and beliefs. Cannot think in terms of riches because their thought habits have been steeped in poverty, want, misery, failure, and defeat. We refuse to believe what we do not understand. We believe our own limitations are the proper measure of limitations. Now they give the example of a Chinese man who attended the University of Chicago, and the question was asked of him. He said, what is the most noticeable characteristics of Americans? And he said that it was the characteristics of Americans with the queer slant of their eyes, okay? Can you imagine somebody that's Chinese said, we have set eyes, and of course we look at him from our own perspective. And then they gave another example of Henry Ford, where he challenged his engineers to build an engine with all 8 cylinders cast in one block. They said it was impossible. And after a year, there was no success, but he said, I must have it. Then as if by some stroke of magic, the secret was discovered. The principle Ford used was desire, knowing what one wants. You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. Our brains become magnetized. This is something that's very, very important. Our brains become magnetized with the dominating thoughts which we hold in our mind. These magnets attract to us the forces, the people, and the circumstances of life which harmonize with the nature of our dominating thoughts. believe we can accumulate riches in great abundance. Before we can accumulate riches in great abundance, we must magnetize our mind with intense desire for riches. That way we will become money conscious until the desire for money drives us to create definite plans for acquiring it. Okay? So that's chapter 1. And remember that word magnet. Magnet attracts. Magnets either attract or repel. But they're going to attract whatever you're thinking, what's on your mind all the time. That's what you're going to attract. And that's even with people. They always think you attract who you are. Absolutely. Absolutely. That magnet of your mind attracts whatever it's thinking about the most. Chapter 2 is desire, the starting point of all achievement. Desire is the first step towards riches. Edward C. Barnes from the last chapter, he has the desire to be a business associate of Thomas Edison. His desire was translated into reality. The dominating dream of his life had become a reality. He succeeded because he chose a definite goal, placed all of his energy, all of his willpower, all of his effort, everything back of that goal. 5 years passed before his chance appeared. Not a glimmer of hope was given. But from the very first day he went to work there, and he was the partner. He burned all bridges behind him. He had to win or perish. There was an example of a Chicago fire. All store owners chose to leave and rebuild elsewhere except one. That was Marshallville. You've heard of that store, haven't you? It says persistence, which does not recognize failure, will bring riches. The method by which desire for riches can be transmuted into its financial equivalent consists of 6 definite steps. The first, fix your mind the exact amount of money that you desire, and you can't be vague about it. Okay? Number 2, you have to determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. Number 3, establish a definite date you intend to possess the money you desire. Number 4, create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you are ready or not, to put this plan into action. Number 5, write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire. Name the time for its acquisition. State what you intend to give in return for the money, and describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. So step number 5 is actually taking steps 1 through 4 and putting it on paper. Number 6 is read your written statement aloud twice daily, once just before retiring at night and once after rising in the morning. As you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money. This step is very important in convincing yourself that you will have it. Now, one thing I would like to say right after this is because when I first got involved with Ardyss, and I told you I've been in network marketing for a period of time, and I never achieved real success. And one of the things that was always told to me was to know your why, write it down, write it down, write it down. Well, I'm an engineer by trade, and I do a lot of thinking, I do a lot of analyzing, a lot of things happen in my head, okay? And so I thought it was okay to just think it and know it and not write anything down. But just so happened that right around the same time I was taking a class of some graduate courses, and one of the things that I had to do for my first assignment was to write a vision statement. And so I had to write a vision statement, so I wrote it. And one of the things that I said in that vision statement was, I want to make $50,000 a month with Ardyss. Now at the time, I don't know that I believed it, that I could do it, but they told me that if I want to write a vision statement, I can write anything I want. So I said, that's really what I want. Follow it down. And then part of the excitement was to write down the plan, the exact plan, how to accomplish it. So I took a look at the compensation plan, and I figured out how to make $50,000 in a month. Turned that assignment in, but I had already written it, so it was in my mind. So, but then I started working on it. I started doing exactly what I said I was going to do. And 5 months later, or 4 months later, my check was over $50,000. So when I'm looking at this stuff and I'm reading it, I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what I did. But I did know, and once it happened, I did say, well, I did write it down. The Bible does say write the vision, make it plain. And that's what I did. And so it's so important that it's written, so important that you read it aloud night and day. That writing it down part is so important. It is essential. But then it goes on to say, these steps have been proven by Andrew Carnegie, who despite his humble beginnings, used these principles to yield over 100 million, which is actually billions today. These steps were scrutinized by Thomas Edison, who approved these steps necessary for the attainment of any definite goal. The steps, and this is really, really good. The steps call for no hard labor. They call for no sacrifice. They do not require one to become ridiculous. To apply them calls for no great amount of education, but the successful application of these 6 steps does call for sufficient imagination to enable one to see and to understand that accumulation of money cannot be left to chance. Good fortune and luck. A certain amount of dreaming, hoping, wishing, desiring, and planning must take place before money can be acquired. Every great leader was a dreamer. If you do not see great riches in your imagination, you will never see them in your bank balance. We live in a world which demands new ideas, new ways of doing things, new leaders, new inventions, and new methods of teaching, new methods of marketing, new books, new literature, new features for the radio, new movies. Only one quality which one must possess to win. That is definiteness of purpose. The knowledge of what one wants and a burning desire to possess it. The real leaders of the world harnessed and put into practical use the intangible, unseen forces, unborn opportunity, and have converted these thoughts into skyscrapers, cities, factories, airplanes, automobiles, and every form of convenience that makes life pleasant. Tolerance and an open mind are practical necessities of the dreamer. Those who are afraid of new ideas are doomed before they start. Let no one influence you to scorn the dreamer. Okay? Now, Henry Ford dreamed of a horseless carriage and went to work with the tools he possessed. Thomas Edison dreamed of a lamp that could be operated by electricity despite more than 10,000 failures. He did not quit. Dreams are not born of indifference, laziness, or lack of ambition. No one is defeated until defeat has been accepted as a reality. There's a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. No one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. Remember, no more effort is required to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity. Man is required you want me to go with this.
Mr. Kraft? Okay, well, actually, I just got some communication that, we need to get ready for our Spanish call, which is gonna be happening about 25 minutes. So, I will say this, first of all, thank you, Ms. Kraft, because everything that you just shared with family is incredible. I got my notes, I got my notes, I lost track of time myself. So, but I love this book. I believe this book is probably the only book that sold more copies in the Bible. So I would encourage everyone in our Ardyss Life family definitely get Think and Grow Rich. I believe Ms. Kraft does a call every Tuesday or every Tuesday.
Yeah, every Tuesday night. We're actually finishing the book. We were on the last chapter, which is we've gone through all of the 13 principles, and the last chapter is about fear. And I encourage everybody to get on that call, because I don't know what the author's going to say about fear, because I haven't read that chapter yet. But I can imagine he's going to go through all the reasons why people don't do what they say, and why they won't move when they say it. People don't show up to meetings, and why people don't win when they have everything they need to win. I can just imagine what all he's going to say that is a result of fear. So even though they may not have participated or been on the call for earlier chapters, I still think that being on the call for that last chapter is going to be worthwhile. And then what I've done is the notes that I'm sharing with you right now are actually on file on my team site. That's the Facebook team site, Facebook Team High Rollers. And you can actually download these notes. And I won't say instead of reading the book, but it's always good to have. Remember back in school, college, when you had clip notes that you were cramming for an exam or something, and you could get the clip notes right quick and kind of understand the whole gist of it. And that's what you can do with these. And I did it so that I wanted to make sure that I remember this stuff and not forget it again.
Oh, that is totally awesome. Well, team, she's given us the blueprint. She's given us the notes. We will get her back on this call again, because we're going to be doing this every third Wednesday of the month. It's going to be Personal Development Wednesday. So it'll be one of our leaders in the field that will be sharing knowledge and nuggets about personal development, because it will change your life. So for the sake of time, we want to thank Ms. Kraft. We want to, excuse me. We want to thank Ms. Our from Anguilla. Apologize.
Miss Southwell.
I'm trying to get this call over with. Apologize for that. Hurts in my head.
Miss Southwell.
Miss Southwell, I'm sorry. Thank you for that, Teresa. So for the sake of time, we're going to go ahead and end this call so that our Spanish team can have it in the next few minutes. Remember, an appointment with Ardyss will change your life, and we will see you across the country as we go back and forth. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, Ardyss family, for connecting with the call. We will see you next Wednesday, same time, same place. Always remember, an appointment with Ardyss will change your life.